So which is better, Leonardo or Midjourney video? My name is Rosh, and I am the co-host of the Creative AI Show, where we are two creative guys talking AI. And in this video, we're talking about Leonardo versus Midjourney, image to video. And the thing is with Leonardo is we have a number of options for image creation. So we'll use their flow system with the prompts that I've created, and I have 3 different prompts to challenge each one of these systems. And then from there, we'll do a similar kind of thing because we can use Midjourney's draft mode to work in a similar style once we put the prompt in. And then we'll figure out which image we want to use, and we'll use a simple prompt, bring it to life, and bring it to life with maybe a direction of some sort. And we'll see which image to video is better. Is it Leonardo's Motion 2 or Midjourney's new V1? Here's the first prompt I'm using for both locations to create the initial image. Let's go with this one for Leonardo. Here are options for Midjourney. I like this one. Let's use this one. And I do think it's a lot better, so it may just win based off of the initial image, which is often true. And that's why having a good image for image to video is so important. Now, obviously, I could continue to look in the Leonardo flow system because honestly, it'll just keep going until we find the one that we want. But I picked one of the first ones. So I have a feeling we instantly gave Midjourney a little bit of an advantage, but we'll see. Here's the next one. Pause to read. And here we go. I think I want to work with a more realistic looking image on this one. Let's see here. How's this? No. Well, let's just go with this one. I like the colors. All right, here we go. I may try lucid realism for the next one with Leonardo and see how that one goes. Okay, here's our Midjourney. And these are illustrative too. So, but it is, I guess based on the prompt, you could certainly say that this is the kind of image it was looking for based off of the prompt. Let's see. Let's stick with a similar one. These are kind of similar, so this may be a fair fight. Download. Back to Leonardo. Now let's go back to use lucid realism for this last one. See how it goes. Pause to read, and here we go to generate. Well, that's fun. We only have one to choose from, so Midjourney may have a little bit of an advantage based on us using the lucid realism, but that's a lot of fun. And of course, it is a much more realistic image than the other ones we were creating before. Let's check out Midjourney. Yeah, I like these. I like this one a lot. And yeah, there's a background, and there was no background with the Leonardo one. So I do like this one much better, but let's see what happens when we bring these images to life. So we'll start with this image here, and we will use the prompt bring to life, but we'll also have a monster jump out of the water just to make it interesting. And for this one, we'll bring to life. We have a choice here, low motion or high motion. We'll use high motion if we're going to have a monster jump out. And we'll do manual. Bring to life. High motion. Let's go. Okay, here we go. And let's see our monster. Oh, that's interesting. Monster jumping out of the water. I'm not sure I'm scared, but the fish floating, of course, that was a reflective of the image that we put in there. So, I guess fish fly in this photo because, well, we had fish above the water. But the monster, I'm not so sure about. Here we go. And then there's the monster. I think that's a better monster. What do you think? Let's see what the other monsters are. Here's another monster. But it's not necessarily coming out of the water, is it? But we have 3 different... Oh, that's a nice camera movement there. I like that a lot. And last one. Oh, there, another flying one. The flying isn't working so well, though. I don't think it's either one of the flying monsters were that awesome. Okay, let's go back to Leonardo and see what they do with the next. So here we are with our flying ship, and this time we'll just say bring to life. Here's our flying ship here. We'll just do it automatic, high motion, and off it goes. It'll just bring it to life. I think one thing I'm going to do to compare a little more apples to apples is pick one of the images for the last test, and probably one of these Midjourney images, and have both Leonardo and Midjourney work off of the same image so we can get a real apples to apples comparison that way. Here's our, what's happening? It's exploding? No, it just turned into another type of an airship. And no, I really don't know what's happening here. It says particles swirling outward and slowly zoom out. I mean, the AI made that up based off of this bring to life prompt, and that's what's happening. So I'm not sure I think that's a good solution. Let's see what Midjourney did. So here's Midjourney, people bouncing around. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's better than it exploding. Now this one's getting dizzy, and there was some physics issues there. Let's see what the next one is. Well, that one's almost usable. And oh, there are rockets screaming by, or missiles screaming by. But hey, at least it swerved and got out of the way. Okay, I'm going to say Midjourney did a little bit better job on this one. Just having fun. It was a simple prompt, not a lot of direction. So when you do that, you really do leave it up to the AI. This one will bring it to life, but we'll have the model and the dog look at each other. That will be the prompt. And for this one, model looks left and smiles. For the Midjourney version, obviously this model doesn't have a dog, so the model looks left and smiles. We'll see how that works out. And remember, next we'll compare the same image across both platforms. Okay, here we go. And they kind of start looking at each other, but then the dog runs off. And the dog even tries to smile a little there, I think. That's not exactly what I was hoping for. So let's see what Midjourney does. Yeah, exactly what I asked for. Exactly what I asked for. Perfect. Again, smile. So there are different timing on the smiles. Yeah, very natural too. I like it. Good job, Midjourney. So I'll download this image and we'll have both Midjourney as well as Leonardo bring this image to life. So here we are. Now the question is, what should we have the model? How about this? How about we just have, we'll call it the ship, and the ship goes into warp speed. And let's see, and the model reacts. So ship goes into warp speed and the model reacts. How the model reacts? Well, that is up to the AI. High motion. So high motion, so there'll be a lot of movement. You have low motion, meaning it's going to be a slower movement. And we're in manual mode. Here we go. Here we go. And oh, what's happening here? Oh, wow. Ship accelerates to warp speed. Model reacts with surprise, then disintegrates in a flash. Oh my gosh, that's rather sinister. Okay, let's see what we got with Midjourney. Here we go. Oh, back to smiling again. No warp speed. So it looks like Leonardo actually handled the prompt appropriately. No, that's not right either. Okay. No, I mean, I don't like the reaction or what happened to the model, but at least we went into warp speed. Neither one of these are awesome in terms of what I wanted. So I think we have kind of a failure on both in this last one. But I'm going to have to say overall, Midjourney has a better image to video system. Of course, Leonardo does have VO3, But, there's a lot of reports that, that VO3 is just not as good as, say, VO3 from other locations. Maybe it's kind of throttled back a little bit. Who knows? Who knows what it is? But it hasn't had a good reputation. But it's probably better than their Motion 2, which came out before VO3. If you want to hear more about AI for the creative, make sure you check into the Creative AI Show every Monday on this YouTube channel and your favorite podcast location, where we are two creative guys talking AI. See you in the next video.